Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to ask the age-old question. Will the Buffalo Sabres make the playoffs? I'm seeing a lot of these analytical people on X, on Instagram, on all sorts of different social media pages put the Sabres in the 90 to even up to 100-point range this season. That would be absolutely insane with the current roster they have. Let's jump into it. I want to do a little bit of a deep dive, but kind of a broad overview at the same time. We're not going to get too into it, but we'll see where we go with this. So first things first, we have to take a look at what has changed from this year and last year, because the first thing I notice on these charts is the Sabres were initially projected maybe 5th or 6th in the Atlantic in most of these. They got rid of J.J. Peterka, brought in Doan. They brought in Kesselring on the defensive side of things. They signed free agent Connor Timmins. They got Justin Danforth. They brought in Alex Lyon for a backup goalie, and he will end up being our starting goalie. They brought back Bowen Byram, but that's not a change. So what exactly is making us jump from 5th and 6th in the Atlantic to top 3? Now, this isn't everyone saying it. Of course, me being somebody who projects the Sabres much lower in the standings, and a lot of other people would agree, but everyone that uses these advanced analytics has seen an incredible jump in the Sabres' expected goals and expected goals against. So let's go first things first with the defense. I think that makes the most sense. We look at our starting pair. You have Bowen Byram back, and he's paired up with Rasmus Dahlin. That is, top of the line. You would really be hard pressed to find a top defense pairing in this league that is better than that. Maybe you could find 2 or 3, but that is as good as it gets. Moving on to the second one, when healthy, Michael Kesselring will be back. I think he's week to week, probably out a couple of games, not the end of the world. He will be paired up with Owen Power. I mean, that top 4 looks really good. So the acquisition of one player and bringing another guy back makes your defensive core a whole lot better than last year already. That would bump Mattias Samuelsson down to the third line. When Mattias Samuelsson plays good hockey, he's a good player, but the issue is his injury history, and recent times he has just been very weak in front of his own net. Hopefully the system change can kind of help him out there. He will be paired up with probably Connor Timmins. Now, keep in mind, Kesselring is hurt, so that will bring guys like Ryan Johnson, Jacob Bryson into this defensive core as well. Those guys don't expect too much from, but they do have a little bit of speed, so they can be involved in the offense. Looking at that defense, so far, so good. We go to the goaltender situation, and UPL is on IR to start the season. He injured something else in preseason now, so he's going to be out at least a couple games. Moving Alex Lyon to your starter. Alex Lyon, we've seen the good, we've seen the bad in the past with him. His first year at Buffalo, he's getting a heck of an opportunity to make a first impression. We'll see what he can do. I'm not too worried about the goaltending. Again, if you lose UPL for a week or two, I don't think it's going to kill them, and especially because UPL is kind of a shaky goalie. I don't really think he's proved his point in the league just yet, so maybe Alex Lyon will even be better than UPL this year. We don't know. The issue is Alexander Georgiev is now the backup goalie to start the season, and he, let's just say did not look good in preseason. Started off pretty solid in that first game. Since then, he has turned into a pretty bad goaltender, and that's kind of been his career, right? He was a former All-Star, but the last 3-4 years, he's been really bad. So I think Alexander Georgiev will sit on that bench, and the only time he will be asked to play is if Alex Lyon is having a rough day. So hopefully we don't have to see Georgiev, and if we do, hopefully he looks good. Now let's go on to the forward core. I'm just going to list out players, and I'll give my opinion on them, starting with Zach Benson. Zach Benson, one of those guys who has to take a jump from last season. Love the style of play he does. He's a gritty guy. He's always involved in the fights, and that's Lindy Ruff's thing, right? We want to be tougher to play against. Zach Benson fits that mold perfectly. Yuri Kulik looked really good in preseason. He's got a heck of a shot. One of our guys, friend of the program. Absolutely love him. I think he's going to be a very vital part in this team if they want to make the playoffs. Then we got Tage Thompson, another first liner. Tage Thompson, I mean, what can you expect from Tage Thompson? I think you got to expect the world from him. He's got to score a ton of goals if you want any success this season, but he has the capabilities to do that, right? We saw him in the offseason play for Team USA and have that overtime winner. He has that electric slap shot on the power play. His playmaking, his handles, some of the best. We move on to second line guys. Jason Zucker. Again, a veteran player who exceeded expectations last year. Hopefully he can stay on that same level. If he can, that's going to be very nice. Josh Norris, who was the preseason MVP. We'll see if he can stay healthy. That's the biggest thing with him. And then Alex Tuch. Alex Tuch's got a lot of rumors going around about him. We don't know if he's going to re-sign in Buffalo or not. They got the full season to figure it out, but I'd expect a deal if there is going to be one by the midway point in the season. I think with Alex Tuch, the biggest thing is you want to wait and see where is this franchise going. If the Sabres start off, say, 25-18 or something, Alex Tuch might be more inclined to sign a contract. If the Sabres start off 10-33, Tuch may say, hey, I love playing for my hometown team, but at the end of the day, this franchise is headed in the wrong direction, and I don't think me staying here is going to fix it. I'm out. So Alex Tuch, again, has all the leverage in this situation. I think he wants to wait and see, much like some other players did in the past. Now let's go on to the bottom six. The bottom six is another area where the Sabres have retooled. They brought in the trio of Beck Malenstein, Sam Lafferty, and a lot of others last season, right? And they looked terrible. Absolutely terrible. So you got to hope that the bottom six is better this year. We got rid of most of those guys that they brought in last year, except for Beck Malenstein, who will probably be playing to start the season because Jordan Greenway is out. So Jordan Greenway, he's out a couple weeks. He'll be back and will probably take Malenstein or Danforth's spot in the lineup. You also have Peyton Krebs centering either the third or fourth line. He's a gritty player, again, much like Benson, with a little less offensive ability. Those two are pretty much the same player, though. I just think Benson's ceiling's a little bit higher. Then again, Peyton Krebs has shown us, the first season he was with us, I thought he was really on a good trajectory, and he has kind of spuddled out since then. Now let's finish up with the third line. We have Doan, who looked good in preseason, McLeod, who had a monster year last year, and Jack Quinn, who I think is the biggest question mark. Let's talk a little bit about Jack Quinn because he is coming off 2 major injuries. His speed looks better. His decision-making has not so far in preseason, but he's a guy, if you pair him up with the right line, I think he could be a terrific threat in the offensive zone. So very excited to see if Jack Quinn can turn his career around and point it back in the right direction. So that's pretty much the team this year. Again, do I see playoffs from this team? I don't know. It is tough to say. We're going to have to wait to see what they look like for the first couple weeks of the season. But the defense has certainly gotten stronger. The goalies have pretty much stayed the same. We'll see what Alex Lyon looks like. And then we go to that forward group, and it's really not a bad group of guys. I mean, to have your third line, Doan, McLeod, Quinn, that is not bad at all. This is a talented team. And you got to think eventually the Sabres would at least luck into the playoffs with the current format. But we've said that year after year after year. This is the same team that had Evander Kane, Ryan O'Reilly, Jack Eichel, and they couldn't get it done. Taylor Hall couldn't get it done. Sam Reinhart couldn't get it done. So I don't know. Maybe this is the right group of guys. Maybe they'll play the right system of hockey. But last season, there just seemed to be a disconnect between coaching and the players on the ice. Hopefully that is fixed going into this season. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you believe this is a playoff team? Right now, I know the analytics people got them 60 to 80%. The general population that haven't looked at the into the deep dive have them 10 to 20%. I find myself in the middle. Right now, if I had to pick a percentage, I would probably give the Sabres team a 39% chance at the playoffs. With that being said, the major reason is just a couple new guys, and the guys coming back have to play better than they did last season. They have to play like they did in that season where the Sabres missed the playoffs by 1 point. And then the injury factor as well, right? Coming into the season with injuries, you got guys like Samuelsson and Norris, who I'd be surprised if they don't miss games this year because that's just kind of how their careers have gone. Let me know in the comment section below, what percentage do you got the Sabres making the playoffs? Again, we're streaming every game. We're going to be vlogging the first game and the third game this season from the arena. Be sure to watch those videos as well. Leave a like on this video, subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time in the next Sabres video. Have a good one.